we've got some awesome watches that came in today. This is a 26715 ST. That's a 38 millimeter AP. If you are interested in doing business with us, here's the number right there. So we have the 116505. Jubilee, this one's a brand new 2023, and we have an Oyster brand new 2023. It looks like we have a little bit of damage to the box. I'm gonna have to talk to the client about that.
So we have a very unique unboxing that I'm about to do. Obviously, as you can tell, it is not a watch.
Wow, that is awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We've got some awesome watches that came in today. We've got even more coming in tomorrow, so stay tuned. After we unbox these, go through some deals maybe, you'll see more watches that we got in. All of these are available, and so I'm excited to open these up, show you guys what we got in. The first one that I wanna go through is this one right here. And this box and this box actually go together from two different senders, but it goes in tandem. I'll explain that in a bit. This one right here is a watch that we are purchasing. We came to an agreement. Seller was very happy with the price that we gave him. Obviously, we're happy with the price that we're buying it for. Basically, whenever I give a buy offer, because that's mainly what I do here, obviously we need to make money to stay in business, but you know, every now and then you have to break even on a watch when it comes to offloading or market fluctuations. So you can't win them all, but ultimately over time, you know, you're able to profit and make money. And so that's obviously what we do. Man, this right here, very, very good. We've got a label on the inside. We don't want to show the info, but we got the label on the inside. Now, I'd like to see a little bit of bubble wrap right there. You know, that'd be nice to have just in case so we don't see too much shifting over, because you see how that's going back and forth a little bit. But overall, that's pretty good. And then let's go ahead and let's see how the watch was packaged up. Not bad. We got some paper packaging in there. That's pretty good. Oh, and then we got some bubble wrap. Oh, even added a little bit of extra right there just in case. So this is great. You know, honestly, I've got to say, all in all, that's pretty good. I like that a lot. This is the perfect size for this box. We gotta order some of those. That was fantastic. And then it looks like even better. Oh man, he went above and beyond. The purchase agreement was inside the box, just in case I was confused about who this was coming from, which I wasn't. But man, that's just going the extra mile. So that I can absolutely appreciate. Man, this is a good packaging job. I'm actually quite impressed. I was not expecting this. He clearly took some time on it, clearly was very diligent in the packaging. Honestly, I'm gonna give this one an 8.3. An 8.3 out of 10. That's a great score. All right, let's go ahead and see what we got in. And we are looking at, boom. That is the Sprite on Oyster. This one is in phenomenal condition. This looks brand new, as it's supposed to, because that's what he sold it for, was brand new. Now, if I take the loop to it, and I will, you know, we'll be able to kind of see if there was any sort of wear on it, but honestly, overall, this looks like it's brand new condition to me, as it should be. And if I look here, it's a 2023, so it's about a year old. Purchased, put away, never worn. You got some extra links right there. It's the full set, it's everything. Man, overall, this is a very, very good piece. And if you notice, we also have this one in. So if you guys are interested in getting a Sprite, you know, we have both the Oyster as well as the Jubilee. The Jubilee, this one's a brand new 2023, and we have an Oyster brand new 2023. The Jubilee has some stickers on the case back, which is obviously phenomenal for when you buy it and then you're able to peel those off yourself. Not many have the privilege of doing so. So this one we're selling just over $18,000. So if you want to reach out and figure out maybe if you want to do some trades or what have you, we can work on price. But you know, that's roughly what we're getting selling this one for. And then over here we're selling this one for $17,000. You know, it's on Oyster, also brand new. So we got some great prices, guys. If you're interested in getting these watches, please let me know. We'd love to take care of you. Again, if you want to trade any watches in, you know, we get people that ask us, hey, like, do you take in trades? And the answer is of course. Now, does every dealer like that? Not really. I think most dealers, they prefer to get the cash and just have an outright sale. The way that I see it is that when we get a trade in, number one, we're able to work out prices because we're gonna make money on both ends of the deal. So I'll be able to make money on the front end and the back end on the trade that I'm getting in, plus the trade that you're getting. Because of that, we like to work on prices a little bit. And then number two, whenever you're trading in watches, it just means that you're wanting just to go all out and do business with us. Like, here's my watch, I'll take that one. And that's something that I think is much more long-term. Maybe eventually you'll trade in the watch you got from us for something else that you'll want to enjoy. And when you do that, I don't want to have the awkward conversation of, hey, I oversold this to you, or I sold it for way too much. I'd prefer it to be like, hey, that's a pretty good price. If you are interested in doing business with us, here's the number right there. It's 469-747-2442. That leads me to this next box because apparently someone was watching our YouTube video and they said, I paused the video, I reached out, I put in the number, reached out, you answered, and here's full circle. We got this package right here. I know exactly what it is, and it's actually not one but two very exciting pieces that I'm excited to show you guys. These next ones are heavier hitters than this Sprite. But with that said, it's not like we don't give love to the Sprite or the GMTs. I mean, these are exceptional pieces, and spending anywhere between $15,000 to $20,000 on a watch is a lot of money. So you want to make sure that you're not spending the money, but you're really just parking it, and you're parking it into timepieces for good prices that you can enjoy and eventually maybe resell. Now, I'm not saying that these are investments. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they can be, or you can lose minimally on it. But it's not like you're spending money and it just goes away forever. I mean, you really are parking it into an asset class. So, all right, let's open up this next one. These are both brand new watches. I am particularly excited about one of these because it's one that we've had in many times. Okay, well, the taping job, 10 out of 10, because I just can't get this open. There we go. We got that second label on the inside. Bingo. That's just what we want to see. For shipping insurance purposes, I've said it once, said 100 times. This is very significant because if this outer label right here, now this one had a bunch of tape on it, so it was very unlikely to get compromised. Sometimes they print it out just like this paper right here. It can get rubbed, water can get on it and get smeared. Maybe they can't scan that barcode, maybe they can't read it. The moment that happens, there's nothing that they can do. What they could do is open it up, and they'll have that second label right here, boom. So that is very important. This bubble wrap looks phenomenal. It looks like they did a great job. They used the nice big bubble wrap, and it looks like each watch was put individually, not together, so the boxes aren't rubbing. So that's number one. Number two, man, this is a great packaging job. It's not the number one packaging job. And here's the biggest reason why. Because I just pulled this out, that sucker's upside down. It happens, I get it, but I mean the watch is still fine and safe, but I prefer it to be right side up. So, man, that is a good one. I'm gonna give that one an 8.7. That's an 8.7 right there. I haven't told anyone what my 10 out of 10 would actually be. I'm waiting for it to happen, all right? So I don't want to say what it is, but I'm waiting for it to happen. I have faith in you guys. One of you guys are gonna send us a watch or a couple watches, and it's gonna be a 10 out of 10 packaging. We're just gonna have to wait and see. All right, and let's see what it is. This is a 26715 ST. That's a 38 millimeter AP. Now this one's not brand new, but what I really care about with AP especially, it's not necessarily that there's scratches here and there. That's unavoidable with these types of bracelets. What I like to look for is see if there's any serious scratches or dings along the outer side of this bezel. And from my initial looks, there's a few things here and there that are expected, but nothing out of the norm, nothing that would have been extremely problematic. Something that I really like about this watch in particular, it's that it is a very monochromatic watch all around. The differences in color variations are subtle, and I think obviously that's very intentional. And so when you look at the watch as a whole, it's very clean looking. You can appreciate this watch for what it is, which is of course a beautiful AP, high horology timepiece. There's also an aspect of it being somewhat like a jewelry piece. I mean, it shimmers in the light, it's monochromatic.
It's monochromatic.
This is just a very low-key but high-key piece, if that makes sense. It's low-key in the sense that you can't really quite see the, as you would with like a Panda or something, where it's very stark. Oh, that guy's wearing a chrono. This is just very monochromatic, but it still shines and it still catches the eye because, I mean, it's an AP. This is considered a men's piece. We have had clients buy this particular watch for their wives. I think honestly they're doing it just as I did it. My wife had a 37 millimeter AP. It was a two-tone rose. Now, did I buy it for her? Of course I did. Did I wear it sometimes? Of course I did. So, you know, it's, this is a piece that I think that both a husband and wife, a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, can enjoy. If you see a man out there wearing this, since it's technically it is a men's piece, that's perfectly acceptable. But just like how within the last, especially 5 or so years, women have become more prone to wearing larger pieces, which hats off to them. I mean, I love it. I think that women are becoming more and more accustomed and finding their love for high horology timepieces and, you know, finding the appreciation. So I think that's great. Now this does have a much slimmer bracelet as what you would find with, let's say, like a 41mm AP, like just your typical Royal Oak, could be a chrono, could be just your 15, 510 or whatever. It is thinner. You know, I think if you have average size wrist or like me, smaller wrists, you can absolutely pull this off. Now, if you're like a big bodybuilder, muscular guy, you've got some meat on you, you know, it may not fit you. It may be better for you to get like a 41mm, but if you guys are interested in this, DM, reach out, and I will personally tell you what we are selling this for. Sometimes I like to keep things on the mysterious side, you know, get you guys reaching out. So anyways, if you are interested in this piece though, please let me know. We got a great price on it, truly, and if you look at comps online, I think we can beat every single one of them. If you've been eyeballing an AP, but you've not quite pulled the trigger and this is catching your eye, reach out. You know, would love to work something out with you. On to the next one. This is another amazing piece, and one that honestly I think many of you are going to absolutely fall in love with. A little bit more of a serious piece because you can see that we have the large box here, which is awesome. But let's go ahead and open up and let's check out and see what we got in. That is a chocolate dial, full rose Daytona. This is the 1-1 reference. So we have the 116505. 5 is an indication of the rose gold. And if you notice here, we've got the white tag, green tag, and we've got card. I'm gonna cover up that serial number, but you'll see that's a 2023. And so this is an absolute stunner of a watch. I absolutely love the rose golds. Now this one is lightly pre-loved, lightly pre-owned. It looks very, very good. There's no major dings, there's no major dents, there's no major scratches. This is something that with a little bit of love, this could look absolutely brand new. And it does seem like the seller here has kind of a taste, which is a monochromatic type look, which I think looks great. It's a stark contrast from what you'd find with some other dials where it's more chromatically just different. So this is a very nice look. So if you guys have been looking for a rose gold, especially chocolate Daytona, we've got it in stock. This one we are purchasing. And again, I'm gonna have some mystery here. Sorry, I hate to do it, but some stuff we're gonna give prices and some stuff you gotta reach out. So if you're curious about the price on this one, again, this number right here, go ahead and just text that number. It goes right to me. I would love to share with you what we're selling this for, what we're gonna be moving this for. And again, if you guys have a trade, not every company does this. I might even argue that no company does this. Maybe it's just us. If you do have a trade and you're wanting to trade a watch in, we can work on price. We can adjust and we can make it better for you. So we're gonna go ahead and close that up. Now we do have 2 more boxes to open up. These are of the same unit. I know that doesn't make any sense, but it's gonna make sense. These are not from the same person. These are from 2 different senders. Now this was a sourced watch for a client. I'm gonna strategically open up this one first. All right, and let's go ahead and get this opened up and get this pulled out. Okay, so we got a strap in for a rose gold AP. Now, unlike Rolex, where this bracelet doesn't fit with that watch and this Oyster Flex can't fit on that because of various reasons, you know, AP is a little bit more versatile with their stuff, which I can appreciate. You know, they kind of allow you to be a little bit more creative on your watches. And this is a great looking strap. It's not brand new, but you know, it wasn't just on some sweaty guy's wrist for 5 years straight. You know, it's not worn like crazy. I mean, there's no cracks or, you know, anything that's overly concerning. It clearly isn't overstretched or overdone. Now, we do have our deployant right here. And so that, you know, comes out real nicely. If you pull it on some angles, it can be a little bit harder, but you know, you just kind of finesse it a little bit. You know, it snaps right in there. You know, and again, I'm able to just kind of pull it out, and there it is. Very, very nice looking. It's very, very clean. Now, the reason that you, when you're buying these straps, if you have a watch and AP, and you're gonna try to buy a strap, one thing that you have to be very conscientious of is the fact of these plots right here. They're called plots. On the bracelet, it's attached. So you have to buy these separately or buy it with the strap. If you don't, you won't be able to take the bracelet off and put it with this on. Without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up and let's see what watch we got in to pair with this strap. Now, packaging right off the bat looks very good. It's a little, you know, there's quite a bit of empty space here. I would have liked to see a little bit more bubble wrapping. At least there's some bubble wrapping. Let's see what we got in. Wow. That is awesome. That's the 26320 OR. This watch is the predecessor of the 26240 OR. I almost said ST out of habit. The 26240 OR. This is the predecessor. This watch, I believe, was discontinued around the 2016 year or somewhere around there. Now, the differences are noticeable between the two watches. I'm not sure which one I prefer. This may be a controversial statement, but neither one of the subdials to me just look quite right. And I think that's simply because they might be trying to just be different than Rolex, be different than the Daytona. And unfortunately, it just looks off. You know, these are just a little bit closer together than I would like them to be. Just looks a little bit more squished. The successor to this watch, the 26240, are a little bit too big and a little bit too wide. To me, like the Daytona that I have on right now, the subdials are just perfectly placed. I love the sizing. Maybe it's just because that's what I'm used to and that's what I prefer. I don't know. But with that said, I mean, we're kind of, you know, being a little ridiculous at that point. This is obviously a magnificent piece. I'm extremely happy to get this in for my client. Now, this one is in absolute mint condition. It looks absolutely flawless. No issues with the watch whatsoever. That's very difficult to find for a watch of this year and a watch of this caliber. So I'm extremely happy. And I think that the client is going to be extremely happy to get this watch in. So this one is one of the last years. This one is a 2016 and it is a full set. Now, unfortunately, I'm noticing right here, this was not disclosed. It looks like we have a little bit of damage to the box. I'm gonna have to talk to the client about that. I don't think that's gonna be a huge deal breaker or a huge issue. These boxes do run $700, give or take, something like that. So, you know, if I had to get a new one, I will, but I'll have to work it out with the dealer on who I sourced it from because I don't wanna have to eat that cost because that's gonna be eating into a lot of my profit. So, but I'll talk with the client, see if that's a deal breaker. He's a really great client of ours, and so, you know, I think he'll be happy overall. I can't get over how heavy this watch is. This is very, very heavy. If we were to compare this to the all gold Daytona that we have right here, the weight difference is magnificent. Now, of course, this was down a few links, so if I kind of just throw the links in there and then feel the weight difference, that's comparable. That's comparable. That's actually not, I mean, this is definitely heavier, but not by much. Not really. You know, I think we got some really nice looking watches right here. So let me go ahead and ask you guys, our lovely viewers, if you had a choice, regardless of price, because this one is certainly a lot more, regardless of price, which one would you prefer? I think clearly the AP is a lot more flashy and showy. Which one do you think you would prefer to have? Regardless of price, let's just say that you won a contest. We're not doing a contest. Let's say you won a contest, then you had to choose between, and you could never sell them. You had to wear them. It had to be yours. Which would you prefer? This is a tough one for me. I think honestly, if we're being completely transparent, I think I would choose the Daytona. It's still relatively low key, even though it's an all gold watch. I love the chocolate dial. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But with that said, I wouldn't lose sleep over, you know, having this one. So basically, as you can see, the screws go right here to replace this bracelet. And so if we were to do that, these plots would have to come out, which is why if you were to get this strap, going through us makes it to where you're able to, and you don't have any mishaps or missteps. So that right there is how it would look. Black dial with a black leather croc. The dealer that I had sourced this from, and if you guys are curious, I didn't charge the client any extra money at all, and you'll know because I'm gonna say it right here, but this right here cost us $2,250. This is not cheap to get, It's a very hard combo to find. You know, if we were to try to go the aftermarket route, you know, we could have done all that mess, but obviously for a watch like this, you've got to get factory, you got to get best of the best. And so that's what we opted for, and that's what we got. So we are going to be shipping this watch right here out today, and he's going to have this on his wrist tomorrow.
So we have a very unique unboxing that I'm about to do. We ordered some artwork for our space. Jeez Louise, man. We purchased 4 pieces, and we're gonna probably put a piece here, a piece in the office, a piece by the wet bar. I honestly forgot what pieces we ordered. I'm kind of curious to see what they are again. We got these from an artist online. He's an artist in Hungary. His Instagram handle is Dark Side of the Watch. We don't get any sort of kickback or anything like that from his art. We can't show them to you right now, unfortunately, because they're just gonna roll up on themselves. We have to wait till tomorrow to see these, but because you're watching video, if I literally just snap my fingers, they'll be ready. So, all right, it's been a couple of days. The artwork has flattened out. This is a Omega 321 movement. We've got the Rolex crown. Set that one right there. Next we have the Rolex Daytona 6263. Guys, this is a pencil drawing. This is not a photograph. This is the big red version. So if you were looking at this in color, you'd notice that the Daytona would be red lettering right there. This might be one of my favorites, the last one here, because of the attention to detail for the water droplet. This one's called Splash. Let's see if I can hold it up with 2 hands here. I mean, look at the detail of that watch just falling through that water. So cool. As we continue to finish up our space here, we'll do a grand tour walkthrough, and we'll have all this beautiful artwork on the wall. When you have bare walls that don't have anything on them, it always feels empty, and the space doesn't feel complete. So I'm excited to get them up. And when you walk in and you see this beautiful artwork on the walls, and you come into our showroom and you see some of these exact same beautiful pieces that we'll have in our showcases. So let's get them set up.
Talk to me a little bit about what is like the minimum amount that you're wanting to take home for the 5968. And the reason I'm asking is because what I don't want to do is bring a watch in. Let's say that you've entertained the remote consignment. I don't want to bring a watch in if it's not going to sell. We don't bring in watches to keep, we bring in watches to move. So if we can bring this in and get it moved, we definitely have the clientele, we definitely have the reach, and we definitely have the ability. The only question is the price. Are we going to be aiming too high, or are we going to be aiming too low? That's kind of where that's what we need to have a conversation over, because if we're in the right ballpark, then I want to entertain potentially moving forward.
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to sell it for what I bought for it right now.
Unfortunately,
yes. I really don't know what the market is on them. So why don't you do the homework, and then you come back with some numbers and say, hey, Charles, you could only get, I don't know, 90 or 80 for it, that I can make a decision point whether to just, if it's not worth it, I'll keep it. If it is worth it, then I'll go ahead and move with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I missed the mark. I mean, a few months ago when we talked, they were a lot higher.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're lower right now. So I'm open. Do the homework. I think at this point we both don't know what they're going for.
Right. Yeah.
Let
And
me know what they are.
Right. Exactly. And here's the thing is, it having a cut strap is not a big deal. I've got extra straps. What I do want to know is what does the condition look like on this piece? Have you been wearing it daily?
Oh, it's brand new.
So,
no, I don't. I've never worn it. It's too big for me, so I don't wear it at all.
Oh, I got it.
There's not a scuff mark on that thing. Yeah,
okay.
The strap was just cut from the AD, but it's an unworn watch.
Right. Okay.
It's too big for me. I have other watches, so.
It just doesn't quite fit your wrist size. So I got you.
Yeah, it's just a little too big, and I'm a Rolex guy. I mean, I got like 30 Rolexes, so.
Right.
I gotta rotate the Rolex.
So I mean, it's really sad to hear that you've this is your one and only Patek, and you don't even enjoy it. You don't even wear it.
No, to be honest with you, it's the 5167 is the only Patek that I like that fits me well around my wrist, and it's the only one that I like. I don't like any Patek.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Well, I mean,
even the Nautilus, I don't even like the Nautilus. They're just too big for my wrist.
They're just too big. And I'll be honest. I have a small wrist. I tried on the 5167A. Like I said, we sold ours yesterday. I wish I'd called you yesterday. I feel like we could have worked something out. But look, it wasn't a once in a lifetime deal. We can get many more. We've had many more. You know, it's more coincidental than anything.
2024, you know.
You're wanting a 2024.
Yeah. If I could get a 2024, I would move on that because it's something that I'm gonna keep. It's not something that I'm gonna, sell, or so I would probably want a much newer one.
Well, so here's when it comes to Patek Philippe, they don't change their models very often at all.
Correct.
And they'll change the clasp style, things that are pretty minute that I think if someone was really adamant about having a different, having a double deployant or whatever, then they're able to change things at a relatively low cost. The difference between like a 24 versus a 23 versus a 22, the price difference is pretty drastic.
It's not that. It's for me, like I said, it would be a keeper for me. So it's the wearability. For me, if it's 2 years old, how long was it worn for? Because Pateks is not their engines is not as strong as the Rolex.
Right. Yeah, it's a little bit more, a little bit finer. Yeah. So
and with Pateks, they only give like 2 years warranty. So 2022, the warranty's dead.
That's true. That's true. I agree with that. Now, here would be my counter argument, because it doesn't make a difference for me one way or another. I just want to make sure that going forward, you have all the information that you need, including my opinion, which you may not care for. But the price difference for me, I think, certainly warrants at least considering a couple years older model. When they give warranty, they know that most people aren't going to use it because they're not going to need it. That's going to be a rarity, right? Number two, the price difference definitely makes it worth it. Now, the third argument of going, well, look, I want to make sure that it's not worn. I want to make sure that there are lots of people that get this watch and they put it in their safe, just like what you've done. The watch that you have is brand new. Others have done that. Do I think it's impossible to find a 22 or a 23 that's in brand new condition? Not at all. I think that's absolutely doable. So I think we should leave our options open. At least leave our options open. At least, if we get to that point and it's like, hey, Charles, I've got this option of this year and this option of that year. Here are the price differences. At least you have everything there. So, but I can appreciate wanting a 24 that's brand new. I understand that side of it as well. So, but I just kind of want to throw that out there so that we can, keep an open mind. Let me do a little bit of market analysis on the 5968R. It won't take me too long. I've got a couple of numbers in mind, but I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. So let me just do a couple of market analysis on my end, do what I do, and then I'll get back to you and say, here's where I'm seeing the numbers, here's where I'm seeing, everything. And if you feel like you want to move forward, then we can have that conversation. If not, I completely get it. But yeah, I appreciate you taking my call. I don't want to take up too much of your time. There's a couple things I do have to get to today before I end the day. So do you have any more questions for me? Or, I got my homework, so.
No, that's about it. I appreciate the call.
Awesome, yeah. Well, how's everything else going for you? Everything good?
Pretty good. I got a travel coming up in 2 weeks. It's an international travel.
International? Where are you going?
I hear from you before that. Oh, I'm going to West Africa. I got an apartment complex out there that I built, and we're doing a grand opening. So
get out of here! That's incredible.
Going down. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's massive, man. I didn't think how big it would be, but it is massive. I'm like, wow.
It sounds like there's a story behind why you chose that area, why you did that. I think that's absolutely phenomenal.
It sits on 4 acres, and my grandmother gave me the land. It started out as a school. The government changed, and then I turned it into an apartment complex. So we've been building it for 3 years now. And
I'm sure that you are relieved, and I'm very excited for you guys.
Oh yeah. I've already been offered $3.8 million.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Well, I'll tell you what, this is the perfect time to commemorate and buy a watch from me. So I'm excited for that. I'm joking.
Let me rent it out. I'm gonna rent it out. The rent is different. They pay you up front, like they lease 2 years, 3 years. They pay you up front 2-3 years and be done with it.
Wow.
I love it. So let me make that money, and I'll buy all the watches in the world.
That's incredible, man. Well, obviously, I mean, keep me updated. If you happen to remember, I'd love to see, I'd love to see a picture and all that. If you want to send it my way, you can.
I'll send you some videos and whatnot.
Oh, please do. Yeah, you can send it right to this phone number that I called you from. So, cool, man. Well, yeah, I'll get back with you on kind of where I'm seeing some numbers on all of that. But in the meantime, have an amazing trip. Be safe, and again, huge congrats to you guys.
Absolutely.
That is incredible.
Oh, thanks, Josh. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have a good night. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Bye bye.
You too now. Yep. Bye bye.